Same price, less console. Same price, less console. Same price, less console.
Less console, same price.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, shameless plug on my ASMR channel. I have DSP Gaming ASMR. No, I'm not kidding. It was a strange and fun video to make. I'll have a link to that below in the description and top pinned comment. Make sure you check it out.
Check it out.
And I don't really know how to segue into the news story from there. So Tech25 ASMR, make sure you go sub. I got some other surprises coming on that channel as well. Enjoy.
Check it out!
So who's ready to pay more for consoles that are almost 5 years old, huh? Yeah. All of the prices, minus the Switch 2, all of the prices on consoles have increased. It's insane. Back in May, we found out about the Xbox Series console price increases. For example, the Xbox Series S, the 512 gigabyte model, went from $299 to $379. The Xbox Series X went to an ass-watering $599.99 from $499.99, a $100 price increase on what's supposed to be the twilight of the generation. And this one is the banger. They've increased the price, which I'll talk about in a second, of the PS5 Pro to $750. But Microsoft's, hey, we're just going to give you the Xbox Series X in a Galaxy Special Edition skin, and it's going to have 2 terabytes, and we're going to make it only $20 less than the PS5 Pro. Continuing on, so the Nintendo Switch, the original Nintendo Switch lineup, got price increases. The base Nintendo Switch, this is the model that launched in 2017. Obviously, they've done things with the fabrication process of the chipset, but same Switch that you could get back when it launched in March of 2017 went from $299 up to $339. The Switch OLED model went from $349 to $399. Again, keep in mind, you could get a Switch 2 for $450 if you don't get the Mario Kart World bundle. The Switch Lite went from $199 to $229. It's an 8-year-old console, and they brought up the prices on it. I guess Nintendo's looking to recoup tariff costs through the first-gen console and not raise the price of the Switch 2 because people are already annoyed at the price, but it's still insane that they're increasing the prices of a console that's now pushing almost a decade old. And then last but not least is Sony. Sony had their price increases recently. PS5 Slim went from $500 to $550. The PS5 Slim Digital Edition went from $450 to $500. And the PS5 Pro went from $700 to $750. It's still a better deal than that Galaxy 2 terabyte Xbox Series X. But minus the Switch 2, which hold your breath for that one. I have a feeling that's coming. The console prices from everybody have increased all around. But now, not only are you going to pay more for current gen consoles, you're going to get less console. At least it's starting in Europe anyway, but don't think it's going to stop there. This comes from GameRant.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. A new report suggests that the PS5 Digital Edition may soon receive a storage space downgrade in Europe. So even less storage on a digital-only console that didn't have enough to begin with anyway. This info came from leaker Bill Kun from the French gaming media outlet Deal Labs, and they said starting on September 13th in Europe, the PS5 Digital Edition will come with 825 gigabytes of SSD storage instead of 1 terabyte. Now, back in April 2025, the PS5 Digital Edition in Europe went from 449 euros to 499 euros. So that price is staying the same. It's increased in April, and you're getting less storage, which, in my opinion, 1 terabyte of storage in 2025 for games is not enough anyway. And you're getting even less now. But you're paying the same money for the console, and the price increase just in spring. And people can't even afford to buy groceries. You think I'm kidding? Now, of course, they're saying Sony's doing this to avoid another price increase, so they're trying to skim some off the top with SSD storage so they could cut back on costs that way. But I This is the first time ever. This is another first that not only consoles are becoming more expensive as they get older, which usually as technology becomes dated, it's easier to manufacture, it's cheaper to manufacture, and the consoles become cheaper. Not only are they getting more expensive, which was already unprecedented for older consoles to go up in price, they're making them less capable. You have less storage in this console to put games on. Like, okay, now you can just put Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the internal storage. Congratulations. So think about it at this point. You're paying more for the console that started in April. You're getting less storage, which guarantees at this point you would have had to anyway, but now you absolutely have to. It means that you have to buy an PS5 certified NVMe SSD drive to install it, which will probably cost you about another $200. And then tie in this. I just want you to think, as prices of luxury items, I guess a game console will be considered, are going up, people can't even afford groceries. Check this out.
Check it out.
This is in the United States, by the way. A recent Lending Tree survey found that 25% of buy now, pay later users in the U.S. financed grocery purchases in early 2025. A significant increase from 14% in 2024. While this indicates a growing reliance on buy now, pay later for essential items due to economic pressures, it also highlights concerns as 41% of buy now, pay later users, buckle up for this, reported a late payment in the past year. They're defaulting on their buy now, pay later agreements that they have where they can't pay the payment installments for groceries. We're in a bad place, man. And it ties into this just to make you understand. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Look, I understand you're corporations and your job is to maximize profits, and you are not a charity. And you need to, if tariffs are increasing your production costs, you want to recoup them. It's almost like shrinkflation with food. You ever go and you get the same thing and you're noticing, wait, all right, it's the same price, but I'm getting less here. I'm seeing that I'm getting less in the package. This is shrinkflation for consoles, where it's like, all right, it's a PS5 digital edition, PS5 Slim digital edition, or whatever the hell it is. And it's the same price after the price increase in Europe, but now I have less storage. Literally the same thing. I don't know how these companies expect people to afford their games when they can't even put food on the table. I don't know what's going to happen here. I know there is a bigger picture that's way more serious than just game consoles, but this is all just, I have no words for it. How do you expect... One of the things about gaming in the past, anyway, I don't know about now, is that it was recession proof, where, okay, it's more expensive to buy a game than it is go to watch a movie. But some of those movies, especially around me, if you went to a theater, it cost $20, you could buy a game, well, at one time, for $60, and you would get hundreds of hours sometimes of entertainment out of it, whereas you spend $20, you spend a third of the price, but you watch a movie and then you're done. So you could buy one game, even though it was $60 or now $70 or now $80, and play it for months upon months on end. Whereas when you see a movie, yeah, you may watch it again occasionally here and there, but you don't get the same amount of entertainment value out of it. But if people can't even afford to get the game or the console in their home, it's not really recession proof anymore. People are going to be like, buy a PS5 or pay my electric bill, buy a Switch 2 or get groceries, no one's going to be buying an Xbox Series console at this point, but buy one of those, or I don't know, pay my car payment. What do you think people are going to choose? It sucks that this is happening. It sucks that we are in this position, but if you think increasing the prices and people are just going to suck it up and bear it, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, when they have other obligations and they have kids to feed and they have a house to maintain, you're out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. And then moving beyond that, consoles are really becoming slowly irrelevant in 2025. The games are no longer exclusive to hardware, which I get. We're going into the games as a service era, but you're increasing the prices and giving less value to your hardware because you could play the games anywhere. You see how that formula doesn't add up? It's going to be interesting to see where the gaming industry is in like 2 or 3 years, because right now, everything is looking really grim. I know people always say I'm the bearer of bad news in these videos, but it's almost mostly nothing but bad news out there. I don't really know what else to say, except you should sub to my ASMR channel and watch me speak softly about Phil.
Check it out!